4:40 in the morning, the fishing town of Guiuan is about to take a direct hit from the strongest storm ever measured, making landfall, winds near 305 kilometers per hour. Within a day, a wall of seawater buries whole neighborhoods in Tacloban. By the time the sky clears, Typhoon Haiyan will have killed thousands and left millions homeless. About 425 kilometers east-southeast of Pohnpei, in the Federated States of Micronesia, a broad low-pressure area drifts across the open Pacific on November 2, 2013. Tracking generally westward, it moves through a region favoring tropical cyclogenesis, the exact conditions a tropical cyclone needs to grow into something far worse. By November 4th, Haiyan strengthens into a tropical storm and gets its name from the Japan Meteorological Agency. It explodes in power the next day, developing a clear eye, and on November 6th, as it nears the Philippines, local forecasters give it a second name, Yolanda. That same day, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center rates Haiyan a Category 5 equivalent super typhoon on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. Its eye passes directly over Kyangal in Palau. Despite a mandatory evacuation order, most residents stay behind. Remarkably, all of them survive. Meteorologists across the region can't agree how strong Haiyan gets. Hong Kong estimates peak winds of 285 kilometers per hour. The warning center clocks 1 minute sustained winds at 315. Unofficially, that makes Haiyan the strongest cyclone ever observed by wind speed, a record broken 2 years later by Hurricane Patricia. At 4:40 that morning, the eye crosses the coast at Guiuan, eastern Samar, still at maximum strength. By the warning center's unofficial measure, 305 kilometers per hour, it becomes the most powerful storm ever recorded to strike land, a record broken by Typhoon Goni in 2020. Nearly every building in town is damaged. In Guiuan, Mayor Christopher Gonzalez incessantly urges residents to evacuate, calling the coming storm Diluvio, deluge, which roughly translates to Armageddon. His warnings work. Of the town's 45,000 residents, only 87 die. A U.S. Navy medical officer estimates a storm like this could have killed 4,500 people in Guiuan alone. Hours later, the storm surge reaches Tacloban. At the airport, floodwater climbs 5.2 meters, high enough to destroy the terminal to its second story. Downtown, the ground floor of the city's convention center, an evacuation shelter, disappears under the flood. Many sheltering inside are caught off guard by the rising water and drown. City Administrator Texan John Lim says roughly 90% of Tacloban is destroyed. Along the coast, the typhoon's waves fling car-sized boulders inland. One weighing 180 tons carried 10 meters uphill on Callicoan Island, the heaviest object ever moved by a tropical cyclone. By the time investigators finish counting, the Philippines confirms at least 6,300 deaths, nearly 6,000 of them in the eastern Visayas alone, though the true toll remains disputed. 28,000 more are injured, and over 550,000 homes are destroyed. Within days, the disaster becomes a humanitarian crisis. The United Nations estimates 11 million people are affected across the country, with 1.8 million left homeless and more than 6 million displaced. In Tacloban, 90% of structures are destroyed or damaged, and fear of disease spreading through the wreckage grows by the day. Desperation turns to lawlessness. In Tacloban, looters strip malls and grocery stores bare and even attack relief trucks for food. City Administrator Texan John Lim defends it plainly. The looting is not criminality, it is self-preservation. In one warehouse raid, 8 people are crushed to death when its walls collapse. Help arrives from across the world. The United States launches Operation Damayan, $51.9 million in aid, plus Marines, Navy ships, and Air Force planes. China, criticized at first for a token donation, raises its contribution and sends its hospital ship, the Peace Ark. The United Nations and dozens of NGOs mount a massive relief effort. The typhoon strikes as world leaders meet at the United Nations Climate Conference. Philippine delegate Yeb Saño takes the floor and announces a hunger strike in solidarity with his hungry countrymen. Scientists note that cyclones draw their energy from warm seas, which are warming worldwide, though the science doesn't yet show storms growing more frequent, only potentially more intense. Haiyan's name is retired in 2014, replaced on the typhoon lists by Bailu, a quiet footnote to a storm that reshaped an island nation. In Guiuan, where the eye came ashore at 4:40 that morning, the scars remain visible years later. Meteorologists are left with a question: as the oceans keep warming, how much stronger can the next storm get?